Mickey Mouse has been around for a very long time, and he's been just about everything. A plane pilot, a steamboat deckhand, a moose hunter, a ghost exterminator, a clock cleaner, a car repairman, a sorcerer's apprentice, a variety show runner, a keyblade wielding king, savior of the wasteland. He's fought giants, a mad doctor, definitely a big bad Pete more times than he could count, a whirlwind, he even met his spiritual older brother, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. He's been all that and more.
And with Mickey turning 95 pretty soon as a pick in this video and about to become public domain, I figured it was time to look at one of his most iconic games that wasn't the epic Mickey games, his appearances in the Kingdom Hearts games, or his NES and SNES games. That being Mickey Mania on the Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and Super Nintendo, developed by Traveler's Tales and released by Sony ImageSoft and Disney Interactive, back then known as Disney Software. The game was also released on PlayStation 1, but we will get to that in a little bit. So, how does Mickey Mania hold up? Let's find out.
The game is basically a trip down memory lane and goes through most of the major parts of Mickey's career, starting off at Steamboat Willie on November 18, 1928, then going to The Mad Doctor in 1932, Moose Hunters in 1937, Lonesome Ghost also in 37, Mickey and the Beanstalk 10 years later in 1947 from the package film Fun and Fancy Free, and finally the latest Mickey Mouse short at the time of the game's release, Prince and the Pauper from 1990, where Mickey had a literal dual role. You can even access a bonus level where you climb up the tornado from the band concert from 1935, Mickey's very first color short. There are some notable nitpicks though, like Donald and Goofy making 0 appearances in the game despite being originally in Moose Hunters, Lonesome Ghost, Mickey and the Beanstalk, and Prince and the Pauper, but instead, Pluto appears in all those levels. While Pluto is a character in the original Prince and the Pauper short, he did not appear in either Moose Hunters, Lonesome Ghost, or Mickey and the Beanstalk. The black and white era doesn't have much representation either. Building a building, Mickey's service station, through the mirror, none of that is here. Not even the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment from Fantasia, which debuted his modern look we know today. Though that was a playable level in the Fantasia video game, so I guess it gets a pass. But a whirlwind wasn't playable either, despite being one of the most famous shorts to feature modern Mickey's look. But this was the 16-bit era, so hardware limitations were bound to bring the game down a good bit, so can't complain too much of that.
Pretty big for a simple platformer, and we haven't even gone over the animations yet, which are amazing! Animation help was provided by Walt Disney Feature Animation Florida, who you may know for helping with, say, the Lion King game on SNES and Sega Genesis. They are pretty good for their reputation. Walt Disney Feature Animation Florida was located in the Magic of Disney Animation in Disney MGM Studios, now known as Disney Hollywood Studios. The building it resided in now being known as Star Wars Launch Bay. Well, a lot of this has been praised so far, it's time we talked about the elephant in the room. This game is hard.
While the animation is something to behold, this game is not the easiest like Super Mario Bros. On NES. This is about the level of difficulty of, say, a Mega Man game. On the option screen, you have a choice of 3 difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. For the sake of getting this review done and getting all the footage, I played on easy.
But hey, if you're able to beat Mickey Mania on normal and hard difficulty, Godspeed.
When practicing for this review, I only got as far as the Dragonfly part of the Beanstalk level. And that was after I used my continue in the Lonesome Ghost level on normal difficulty. My only continue. You could also choose the number of lives you play the game with, and on easy mode, you have much more continues. Luckily, you don't have just to jump as your only attack. By pressing B on the Genesis pad, or on the SNES pad Y, Mickey will launch a marble? Hey listen, I don't know why he has marbles either, just go with it. One of the main goals of the game is to find every Mickey in each level, including Band Concert Mickey in the bonus level, which you access in the Beanstalk level. after the tunnel part. Finding Mad Dr. Mickey can be a bit cryptic, but you'll eventually do find him after you get back on the elevator after it initially stops. There's also a part where a moose chases you and you collect apples to keep your speed up while heading to the next level. You even get an extra continue when you complete the Band Concert Mickey level. As for the final boss with Mighty Pete, it isn't the easiest thing in the game, but you'll get the pattern down and eventually conquer the cat.
Even with the game's surprise difficulty, it is very full of passion. And you could tell from every frame of animation you see to the music, which is amazing. It sounds even better in the Sega CD version. And it's time I should mention the UK version of Mickey Mania, which you all might know as Mickey's Wild Adventure on PlayStation 1. It was a Europe exclusive and ported by Sega Genesis. It used the CD audio and effects from the Sega CD version. They even added a whole new chase with Willie the Giant and for the Beanstalk level, as well as a new phase of the Mighty Pete boss fight. So now we come to a good question. What happened to the companies involved? Well, aside from Psygnosis.
For Traveler's Tales, they'd go on to make more games for Disney, including the tie-in games for Toy Story 1, Bug's Life, and Finding Nemo. They'd also make Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis and Saturn, and Sonic R on the Saturn and PC. They'd even make a Super Monkey Ball game, believe it or not. They'd eventually make Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. And then, after getting an influx of former LEGO Games employees, they'd go on to make the now iconic LEGO video games we know today, starting with LEGO Star Wars the video game, and they still make them to this very day. They even worked with Sega again when making the Sonic level for LEGO Dimensions, and they'd even work with Disney again when making LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, LEGO Incredibles, and LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Sony ImageSoft would eventually dissolve and fold into Sony Computer Entertainment and Interactive as they focused on the PlayStation, and Disney Software would eventually fold into Disney Interactive with the next gen of consoles onward, and would eventually be shut down in 2016 after Disney Infinity 3.0. For Disney Feature Animation Flora, they'd go on to make their own films with Mulan, Lilo and Stitch, and Brother Bear, before eventually closing down as Disney started shifting toward 3D animated films in the early to mid 2000s. As for the mouse himself, after the release of Mickey Mania, his last theatrical short would be Runaway Brain, which would air in theaters alongside a Goofy movie. After that, he'd reside mostly on television with Mickey Mouse Works, House of Mouse on Disney Channel, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on Playhouse Disney, and the Paul Rudish shorts, also on Disney Channel and Disney XD. He wouldn't stay away from movies for long though. During the early 2000s, he'd get a direct-to-DVD movie called The Three Musketeers, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, which would star his best buds Donald Duck and Goofy. Then in 2013, he'd get his big break in the 1930s style short, Get a Horse, which would air in theaters alongside Frozen. His latest theatrical appearance is in Once Upon a Studio, in honor of the Walt Disney Company's 100th anniversary, and the 100th anniversary of Walt Disney Feature Animation as a whole, or as it's called nowadays, Walt Disney Animation Studios. So like it or not, I don't think Mickey Mouse is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Let's just hope with Mickey becoming public domain soon that he doesn't end up becoming a horror icon, or lack thereof.
And that just about does it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, share the video with people you know, and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload new videos. Also, did you ever play Mickey Mania when you were growing up, or Mickey's Wild Adventure if you lived in Europe? Let me know in the comments too, I'm very curious. And also, once again, happy 95th birthday to Mickey. Hope public domain is easy on you, because I know for sure it hasn't been on Twitter. As well as happy anniversary to the entire Walt Disney Company. I will see you all later. The anniversary day is past when I say it's past, dang it.
Hey y'all, Gavin Lee Varn here, aka Toonfan91. Sorry if I sounded congested in the video, that's because I kind of am still. I'm recovering though, so no worries there. Once again, thank you all for watching the video, and this is kind of to make the announcement that I have an Instagram now. You can go follow me on Instagram if you like some behind-the-scenes snippets of my plush videos in the future. Links to that will be in the description down below, alongside my Twitter, DeviantArt, and Itaku as always. And once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care!